Hello everyone, welcome to the first video of how to use Linkila. In this video, we're gonna explain how to add a domain name and create a short link for that domain. We're just gonna use the demo user for this. The first thing you're gonna do is head over to the domain name section and click this add domain button and type your domain name here. So let's say we want to add foo.0 to the buzz, right? So after clicking submit, you'll be greeted with this page. So generally, you can just follow the steps 1 and 2 here. So the first one is to add a txt record for the domain name, and the value is here. You can click it, and it's gonna copy the value. Yeah, so after that, you can just go to your DNS provider. In this case, I'm using Cloudflare, but other DNS providers should generally work. Just create a txt record here, and the name was foo, okay? And paste the content here, click save. So what this step does is basically, it's a way to verify the ownership of the domain, in which case we could issue a SSL certificate, or rather we could request a SSL certificate on your behalf. This is mainly a way to prevent abuse. There are ways to bypass this step, but it's not going to be covered in this video. And the second step is to add a CNAME for the domain with the value here, dispatcher.linkila. So yeah, so just head over to Cloudflare, create a new record and select CNAME here. Okay, and the target is going to be dispatcher.linkila. So we're gonna ignore the proxy now. So this proxy is actually a way you could bypass the first step, because SSL will be handled by Cloudflare, not by our server. But in this video, we're gonna ignore that. Okay, so once that is done, just go back to the page and click recheck. So if things goes well, you should see the domain name is successfully verified. If it's not the case, you could wait 5 minutes or like 10 minutes, depending on the DNS provider you're using. Or just click this button to send us a message, or click contact us to send us a message. And we can jump onto your case and help you set it up. So before creating a link, there's one thing I think I want to show you is you can edit your default for page. For example, you want to say, okay, if the user type a URL that doesn't exist on this domain, the users will be redirected to google.com, let's say, right? So we can give it a try. AAA, right? So it doesn't exist, and the user is now on Google. Now let's try to create a first link here. We're gonna using example.com as the example. Okay, so when the link is created, you should see a page like this. On the first page, you have some basic settings like the title and target URL. You can add some variables to it, like you can see mobile equals to, and you can click this and add a variable there. You can also set if it's a 302 or 301. Or it really depends on, like 301 will be more performant, but 302 will give you more accurate access log or more accurate analytics. It also allows you to change target URL on the fly, because the result will not be cached by the by browsers. And retargeting pixel is not something I'm going to cover in this video, but it's kind of a more advanced features we're trying to offer. Right now it's in beta stage. Okay, so on the second tab, you have traffic routing. So what it does is it allows you to select or create a filter. In this case, we can see, I mean, if it does what it says in the title, this one is for if the user is coming from United States, you could redirect them to a different page. I don't know, maybe. I mean, you wouldn't do this, but like just as example. You can also add your own filters, create your own filters. I can give it a name, select the regions and platform, browser names, languages, and select the device types. So what this page does is it'll match the users from top to bottom, right? So if the user matches the first filter, the user is going to be redirected here, and it goes on, right? If the user doesn't match any rules, the user is going to be redirected to this target here. We didn't save that, so it's reset. Okay, so in the short URL tab, so this one is the one that's created by default when you first create a URL. But in our case, we want to actually select our own domain. We'll call it test. Okay, we're actually remove this. Okay, so that's done. So we can try to visit this page now. New tab. The first visit on the HTTPS protocol is going to be slower because the server is trying to request a SSL certificate for the domain. But it should take, yeah, it's done, but it should take less than a minute. Well, apparently we have a typo because it says xmapo here, and you can see like the variable worked, right? So the is mobile, it's set to false. But it works. But because we're on Linkila, we have the ability to change the target URL on the fly. So I'm just gonna save that and close this, and I'll go back to here and paste the URL, and you can see it works. And this time the HTTPS request is also a lot faster. Okay, so the next page is JavaScript redirection. So what this allows you to do is mostly for user who doesn't want to use their own domain names, right? So you can just click a link, ignore all the domain related stuff, and just include this snippet of code into your web page, and the user will be redirected to their destinations according to your settings here. And it will also generate the analytics log. Similar, you have gateways. So gateways are like the server-side version of JavaScript redirection. Basically, you download a PHP script and upload it to your hosting provider, and visitors of that PHP script will be redirected according to your settings on Linkila, and analytics logs will be generated. So I think that's it for today's video. Obviously, you can also see your visits, like for example, today we have like food as real to the bus, and it's visited twice. That's all by us, right? So you can see device types, languages, and operating system, things like that. We'll go through more details of analytics on Linkila, but that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.